Introduction. You have just arrived by boat at a city on a great river. The town is built on a cliff high above the riverbank. You walk up 300 steps from the dock to reach the city gate. The gate is built into the city's old stone wall. A nearby market sells everything from pears to high-heeled shoes. Near the city gate is a terrace. There are tables and chairs where you can sit and look out over the mighty river below. In the distance is the entrance to a magnificent gorge. The cliffs of the river canyon rise steeply into the sky. Boats look small from where you sit. In blue it reads, "A ship passes through the Wuxia Gorge on the Yangtze River." This is the town of Fengji, China. It is on the banks of the Yangtze River, the longest river in all of Asia. But Fengji won't be here much longer. By the year 2009, the entire town will be underwater. Why? China is building the largest dam in the world on the Yangtze River. The dam, called the Three Gorges Dam, is creating a man-made lake. When this lake is full, it will completely cover many cities like Fengji. China's dam has caused a lot of disagreement. There are people who are in favor of it and people who are against it. The dam will bring some positive changes to China. It will create jobs, it will provide transportation, and it will help control flooding of the Yangtze River. But it will cause many problems too. Chapter 1. People and the Dam. The Three Gorges Dam will be the largest dam ever built. It will be more than 600 feet, 183 meters tall. It will stretch wider than a mile. The lake it will create is called a reservoir. The reservoir will be nearly 400 miles, 644 kilometers, long when it is full. The dam stretches across one of China's three gorges. The three gorges are made up of steep, rocky cliffs. Villages and ancient temples dot the cliff sides. Winding through the gorges is the powerful Yangtze River. The Yangtze travels thousands of miles across China. It is the third largest river in the world. The Yangtze has always been very important to those who live near it. Millions of people depend on the river for drinking, farming, and transportation. China's leaders have long dreamed of using the power of the Yangtze by building a dam across the river. But it was not until 1994 that China started building the Three Gorges Dam. In blue above the picture it reads, "The reservoir created by the Three Gorges Dam will be so big that it will be visible from outer space." In blue below the picture it reads, "In the last 100 years, the Yangtze's floods have killed at least 300,000 people." The government of China believes that the dam will bring many benefits to the country. The building of the dam has already created thousands of jobs. The deep lake will allow large ships to travel further up the Yangtze than ever before. New business will come to cities that lie inland, far away from the ocean. The dam will also help control flooding. The Yangtze floods every year, killing many people. The floods also destroy crops and buildings. The new reservoir should absorb or soak up some of the flood waters. The dam will also provide energy. Water that flows through a dam can make electricity. Electricity made by dams is much cleaner than the energy made by coal-powered plants. Chinese leaders believe that the Three Gorges Dam will produce as much energy as 7 coal plants. But many people do not think that the dam will bring all that it promises. Some argue that the dam is really hurting the people it is supposed to help. The dam's reservoir will cover hundreds of cities and towns. More than 1 million people have already moved to new homes. Many have left behind places that their families had lived in for generations. In blue above the picture it reads, "Water flows through huge turbines, or motors like this one. The turbines in the dam will make as much electricity as 10 or more nuclear power plants." On page 8 in blue it reads, "The harbor town of Wushan has been knocked down and moved to higher ground to make way for the reservoir." Page 9. Others say that the dam will create a problem with sediment. Sediment is the dirt that settles at the bottom of a river. It comes from earth that washes off the riverbanks. The Yangtze carries millions of tons of sediment in its waters. Most washes downstream. But the dam will prevent the river from flushing its sediment to the sea. Much of the sediment will back up in the reservoir. This will make the lake shallower. Large ships will not be able to use the lake, and there will be no room for extra water from heavy rains. If the reservoir overflows, millions of people who live downstream could be harmed. To solve the problem, the dam has special gates. Sediment comes out of a discharge gate and flows downstream through a canal. Chapter 2, History in the Dam. More than 1,000 historic sites are located near the area of the dam. They are at risk of being flooded by the new reservoir. Some of the sites are important to the heritage of the Chinese people. One site is that of the Ba people. Not much is known about the Ba. Scientists only found out about them a short time ago. No one completely understands their language or can read their writing. Scholars are still finding objects from the Ba culture. The city of Fuling was their capital more than 2,000 years ago. The Ba buried their dead in wooden coffins shaped like boats. They placed the coffins into the cliff walls high above the Yangtze. These royal tombs of the Ba are endangered. The reservoir could wash them away. Chinese officials say they are doing everything they can to preserve the Ba treasures, but they are in a race against time. Much of this ancient civilization could be lost to the rising waters. In blue on page 11 it reads, "Parts of the city of Fuling will be covered by water when the reservoir fills up." In blue under the picture it reads, "A woman in Dachang makes a bamboo basket." Another important place that may not survive the flooding is the town of Dachang. Dachang lies on a tributary of the Yangtze. Its waters flow into the Great River. Dachang once had the largest group of houses from the Ming and Qin dynasties. These dynasties ruled China between 1368 and 1912. Many of the old buildings are still standing. China has saved 37 of Dachang's historical buildings. The government has moved them to a new location 3 miles, 5 kilometers away. Workers have knocked down the rest of the buildings to make way for new structures. Another special site that is in danger is Dragon Bones Cave. Scientists found fossils of human ancestors in this cave. One jawbone dates back almost 2 million years. It is the oldest human fossil ever found in Asia. The myth of the Three Gorges. The Chinese have a story that tells how the Three Gorges came to be. It is the tale of the great Emperor Yu. He wanted to do something to stop the flooding of the Yangtze River. Yu decided the river should flow through the mountains. Then the cliffs would hold back the floodwaters. With the help of a gigantic axe, Emperor Yu carved out the Three Gorges. Other historic sites will survive the dam's flood. The Shibazoha Temple is 12 stories tall. It is just high enough to be rescued. It was built hundreds of years ago during one of China's dynasties. It is called one of the 8 strange structures of the world. The Shibazoha Temple will become an island. The temple is built into the cliff above the Yangtze. Since the town below it will be flooded, the Chinese government is building a special wall around the temple to protect it. The only way to see this unique structure will be from a boat. In blue next to the picture it reads, "The Shibazoha Temple is made of wood and painted red. It is so big that travelers can see it from the river." Chapter 3, Nature and the Dam. The city of Chongqing sits at the western end of the reservoir. This gives the city something to worry about. The water level of the reservoir is rising. Sediment is piling up in the Yangtze. The dirt may block the city's drains into the river. Some experts worry that Chongqing is going to overflow with waste. Billions of gallons of sewage end up in the Yangtze River every year. The dam is preventing a lot of this waste from washing away. The reservoir could become a liquid dump. Above the picture in blue it reads, "Sewage flows into the Yangtze River." Garbage is not the only concern for the river. There are also chemicals. The dam's lake has buried hundreds of factories and coal mines underwater. Scientists fear that chemicals from these sites will leak into the river. In blue, above the picture, it reads, "Almost all of the sewage that Chongqing dumps into the river is untreated. That means that no harmful substances have been removed from the waste before it pollutes the water." On page 17 in blue, under the picture, it reads, "Building the dam is an enormous job." The government of China says it is trying hard to keep the reservoir clean. It is doing a better job of picking up the garbage that people throw into the Yangtze. It is building new plants to clean up sewage before it gets dumped into the river. Chemicals were removed from many factories before they went underwater. Trash from garbage dumps was moved to higher ground. "We will solve these problems," one Chinese official said. Others are not so sure. Danger to animals. The Yangtze River is home to many special animals. One of these is the Bahi dolphin. Some people consider the Bahi a living fossil. This is because scientists think that the Bahi's ancestors were some of the first sea creatures to walk on land. The Bahi is already in danger. There are fewer than 100 of them in the wild. Boat propellers and fishing nets have killed many of them. Dams have cut off lakes that the Bahi use for food and raising their young. The government of China has pledged to help the Bahi. It has built a special protected river for the dolphins, but no one is sure how the Three Gorges Dam and the reservoir will affect the Bahi. Siberian white cranes. Siberian white cranes are an endangered species. There are not many left in the wild. Siberian cranes fish in a lake that is filled every year when the Yangtze River floods. The Three Gorges Dam will lower the water level in the lake. This might harm the fish and the cranes that feed on them. The dam will also change the wilderness. Scientists say the air temperature will go up because of the huge reservoir. Some plants may die off in the warmer climate. Some animals will not be able to live in the warm, slow-moving waters of the reservoir. Pollution may kill some animals too. It's too early to tell how nature will react to the Three Gorges Dam. In blue at the bottom it says, some people have called the well-known Bahi dolphins pandas in the water. Conclusion. Most of China's leaders are not worried about the dangers of the Three Gorges Dam. They are overjoyed by their ability to build it. But critics say the dam is too costly and risky. The Three Gorges Dam will not be finished until the year 2009. Until then, the world will wait to see if China has tamed the mighty Yangtze River. History of the Three Gorges Dam. 2009. The entire Three Gorges project will be finished. 2003. The dam is nearly finished. The reservoir begins to fill. 1994. Construction of the new Three Gorges Dam begins. 1992. The government of China decides to start building the dam again. 1947. Construction on the dam stops. 1946. The United States begins to help China build the dam. 1919. The leader of China comes up with the idea of a dam in the Three Gorges. Page 21 at the top in blue, it reads, China plans to spend at least $25 billion to build the Three Gorges Dam and reservoir.